There is something you do every single day for your dog. Something so automatic, so routine, that you probably do not even think about it anymore. You open a bag. You fill the bowl. You put it on the floor. Your dog eats. You move on with your day. And you have been doing this, the same bag, the same bowl, the same food for months. Maybe for years. That routine feels like love. And in many ways it is. Consistency matters to dogs. Routine matters. But there is something happening underneath that routine that most dog owners never find out about. Something that the repetition itself, the sameness of it, quietly reveals about the state of your dog's health. By the end of this video, you're going to understand what feeding the same food for years actually does to a dog's body, what the signs of nutritional imbalance look like, many of which you may be watching right now without recognizing them, and what thoughtful, practical changes you can make that will transform your dog's health from the inside out. This is not about guilt. This is not about everything you've done wrong. This is about what you can do differently starting today. And it is simpler than you think. Let's begin with a question that almost no one asks. Why do we feed our dogs the same food every day in the first place? The answer is partly habit, partly convenience, and partly because the pet food industry has told us for decades that a complete and balanced food is all a dog needs, and that once you find one they tolerate, you should stick with it. That guidance is not entirely wrong, but it is incomplete in ways that matter enormously. Here is what complete and balanced actually means on a pet food label. It means the food meets the minimum nutritional standards set by a regulatory body. In the United States, that's AFCO, the Association of American Feed Control Officials. Meeting those minimums means the food is not deficient to the point of causing acute illness. It does not mean the food is optimal. It does not mean it contains the variety, the bioavailability, or the range of nutrients your dog needs to truly thrive over the course of their life. Think of it this way. A human could survive for years eating the same fortified meal bar every day and meet the minimum requirements for every nutrient. But no one would look at that person after 3 years and say they're thriving. Their gut microbiome would be limited, their body working with a narrow profile when it was designed for wide variety. Your dog's biology is not so different. Dogs are not strict carnivores like cats. They evolve alongside humans over tens of thousands of years, and in doing so develop the ability to digest a remarkable range of foods. Proteins from many different animal sources, vegetables, fruits, legumes, grains. Their digestive systems were shaped by variety. And when variety disappears, when the same proteins, the same fats, the same carbohydrate sources, the same synthetic vitamin premix goes into the bowl day after day after day, the body adapts. But adaptation is not the same as thriving. Let's talk about what actually happens inside your dog's body when they eat the same food for years. The first thing that changes is the gut microbiome. Your dog's digestive system is home to trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and other microbes that collectively form the gut microbiome. This community is responsible for an enormous range of functions: breaking down food, synthesizing certain vitamins, regulating the immune response, producing compounds that affect mood and behavior, and maintaining the integrity of the intestinal lining that keeps harmful substances from crossing into the bloodstream. A healthy gut microbiome is a diverse one. Different microbial species specialize in processing different types of nutrients. When your dog eats the same food every day, only the species that specialize in processing those specific ingredients are regularly fed and stimulated. Other species, the ones that would thrive on different proteins, different fibers, different plant compounds, gradually decline. The community becomes narrower, less resilient, less capable of handling the full range of tasks it was designed for. The downstream effects of a limited gut microbiome are wide-ranging and often subtle in their early stages. Digestive inconsistency, soft stools, intermittent gas, occasional vomiting is frequently a sign. Chronic low-level inflammation, which manifests as skin irritation, itching, and coat dullness, is another. Poor immune regulation, which shows up as frequent infections, slow recovery from illness, or heightened allergic responses, is a third. These are not always caused by gut microbiome limitation, but they are frequently connected to it. And in a dog who has eaten the same food for years, the gut microbiome is one of the first places to look. The second thing that changes over time is the development of food sensitivities. And this is the phenomenon that surprises most dog owners because it seems counterintuitive. How can a dog become sensitive to a food they've been eating for years without any problem? Here is how. Food sensitivities develop through sensitization. When the immune system is repeatedly exposed to the same proteins, it can, over time, begin to tag those proteins as threats. This does not happen in every dog, but in dogs with a predisposition to immune dysregulation, or in dogs whose gut microbiome has become limited enough to increase intestinal permeability, the immune system's exposure to partially digested proteins increases and the likelihood of sensitization rises. The result is a dog who suddenly, after years of eating chicken-based kibble without any apparent issue, begins to show skin irritation, ear infections, paw licking, gastrointestinal upset, or any of a dozen other signs of food sensitivity. The owner is baffled. Nothing changed. The food is the same as always. But that sameness, sustained long enough, created the conditions for the sensitivity to develop. This is why veterinary nutritionists and dermatologists frequently recommend protein rotation, regularly cycling through different animal protein sources, not just as treatment for existing food sensitivities, but as prevention. Rotating proteins reduces the likelihood of sensitization by preventing the immune system from becoming overexposed to any single protein source. The third area of concern is nutritional gaps and excesses. No commercial dog food is a perfect nutritional replica of the whole, varied diet a dog's biology evolved to process. Some nutrients in kibble are less bioavailable than in whole food sources. Others accumulate over time when provided in amounts even slightly above what the dog can process and excrete. When you feed the same food for years, whatever gaps exist become chronic gaps. Whatever excesses exist become chronic excesses. These imbalances build slowly and silently, and their effects often do not become clinically obvious until they have been accumulating for a long time. The practical takeaway is not to panic. It is to understand that nutritional variety, thoughtfully maintained, is a form of preventive health care as important as vaccinations and regular vet checkups. So what does thoughtful nutritional variety actually look like in practice? Let's make this concrete. The first and most accessible change is protein rotation. If your dog currently eats a chicken-based food, consider transitioning to salmon-based food, or a lamb-based food, or a beef-based food, or a duck-based food. Cycle through protein sources over weeks and months. This does not mean changing the food every week. That can cause digestive upset. It means a deliberate, gradual rotation on a cycle of 4 to 8 weeks per protein source, with a proper transition period between each change. A proper transition takes 7 to 10 days. Start with 25% new food and 75% old. Move to 50-50, then 75 new and 25 old, then fully onto the new food. This gives the gut microbiome time to adjust and dramatically reduces digestive upset during the change. The second change is adding whole food toppers. This is one of the highest impact, lowest effort things you can do for your dog's nutritional health. A food topper is simply a whole food or minimally processed food added to the existing kibble in small amounts, typically 10 to 20% of the meal volume. Excellent toppers include cooked or raw lean meats, can fish in water like sardines or mackerel, cooked or pureed vegetables like sweet potato and pumpkin, lightly cooked eggs, and plain unsweetened yogurt or kefir. Avoid anything seasoned with garlic or onion, grapes and raisins, avocado, and cooked bones of any kind. Even a small amount of whole food variety added to an existing commercial diet meaningfully expands the nutritional profile, introduces new fiber types that feed different gut microbiome species, and provides additional moisture, which matters for dogs on dry kibble diets, as many dogs are chronically mildly dehydrated when kibble is their only food source. The third change is adding a high-quality probiotic and omega-3 supplement if you're not already doing so. Probiotics directly support the gut microbiome diversity that variety in diet alone may not fully restore. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil reduce systemic inflammation, support skin and coat health, promote joint mobility, and support cognitive function, and they're genuinely difficult to get an adequate amount from most commercial kibbles alone. For a dog who has eaten the same food for years and is showing any of these signs, dull coat, digestive issues, chronic itching, low energy, recurrent ear infections, probiotics and omega-3s should be among the first additions you make. Now let's talk about what to watch for as you make these changes, because your dog is going to tell you in every way they know how whether the changes are working. Positive signs typically emerge within 2 to 6 weeks of consistent nutritional improvement. The coat becomes shinier and feels softer to the touch. Shedding often decreases noticeably. Energy levels increase. You may notice your dog is more playful, more engaged, more present. Stool quality improves and becomes more consistent. Itching and skin irritation reduces. Ear problems that were recurring may become less frequent or stop entirely. These are not placebo effects. These are observable, measurable changes in tissue health, immune function, and metabolic performance driven by improved nutritional input. If digestive upset occurs during a food transition, loose stools, increased gas, vomiting, slow the transition down. Extend the mixing period. Give the gut microbiome more time to adjust. This is normal and temporary. It does not mean the new food is wrong. It means the change happened faster than the digestive system could accommodate. If symptoms worsen significantly or persist beyond 2 weeks after a transition is complete, consult your veterinarian. Some dogs have underlying sensitivities that require veterinary guidance to navigate properly. Here is the most important thing to take from this video. Your dog cannot read a label. They cannot compare nutritional profiles. They cannot tell you that their gut feels off or that their skin has been bothering them for months. They depend entirely on you to make these decisions for them. The decisions are not complicated. They do not require a nutrition degree. They require attention to what your dog looks like, how they feel, how their coat presents, how their energy compares to what it once was, and a willingness to adjust. The same bowl every day feels like stability, but inside that routine, the body is keeping score. And when you begin to vary the nutrition thoughtfully, the body responds. Visibly, measurably, gratefully. Your dog has been eating the same food for years. Today is a good day to start thinking about what comes next. If this gave you something useful, please like this video and share it with someone who loves their dog and wants to do right by them. Subscribe for more practical, honest content on dog health every week. Your dog's health is your greatest responsibility and your greatest opportunity. Start with the bowl.